first things foremost, I gotta test to make sure that I didn't break random encounters. Everything so there. Oh, and you all came at a very nice time, Shy Vermins. Your timing is simply impeccable. I was just talking about how I was feeling a little low on money, and I think you all have the alleviation to my dilemma. Wait, where's my gold? Oh, I forgot this ability was this early. This is like one of the first real new synergies that you actually get party member. I guess whoever has Wind of Depths is one that got it, because, like, Thighs Pass. It costs 20 synergy points, but you basically give 20 synergy points to one of your other party members. It's actually part of Ivan's default class, and it's really good on him. Well, he might actually need gens in order to activate it. Let me double check that real quick. Yeah, when you got party members that's got like this much synergy points to work around with, and party members like Garrett that barely have no synergy points to work with, it's almost worth taking the turn to actually use the synergy on them. Then again, maybe not with all the synergy items in the game, but the way I tend to try to play RPGs in general is I always try to, in the back of my mind, I'm always in an itemless state, unless I'm just about to die without it, so it kind of like, I'll admit it's one of those abilities I made with my playstyle in mind, and I'm not sure if you'll find it useful in your adventures, but I think it's neat. It's cool, it's good on a conceptual level, if nothing else. Not nearly as much as I thought it would be, but at least now I can like buy a reality tea, I guess. And besides, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to be getting into our next version of the Vermin soon, so money won't be too hard pressed. And actually could probably just make use out of retreat and get back here soon. And actually, do I want to go real crazy out order and actually get the treasure here? Who am I kidding? Most people that play this game and already know what goes on are gonna abuse this part at the very least. So if only for my own personal play testing purposes, let's pick up our reward early. I don't think it's gonna be anything too broken. And just to add in on the fun of it all, I think we're gonna just go with whatever we got. Oh, I forgot about this. The game naturally assumes that you have Mia at this point, because normally it'd be impossible to trigger the scene until after the Mercury Lighthouse. Let's just pretend that she's not there. Mia who? Exactly. And I think just for the fact that if I feel a little cheap getting this so early on as is, I'm just gonna get whatever I get first. Not bad. Crystal Cookies, we actually get to showcase one of the things that are different in here. The side crystal has been nerfed. But then again, if you saw when it was on screen for 1 second what the Hermes Water does in this adventure, that side crystal nerf doesn't seem as bad. Besides, like, 100 synergy points this early on in the game is essentially a full heal on synergy. And it'll be a fairly close to full synergy heal for a good chunk of the game. Alright. Well, onwards to the adventure. We can't just fast travel to Emil because we haven't been there yet, so I guess we gotta go the long way. Talk about the moment. Oh yeah! Forgot, like, part of the annoyance of today was because, well, getting diluted by random monsters doesn't help the matter, I suppose. But more so, I've been working on... If you watched the trailer I did for the 20th anniversary Lost Age project, you may have noticed I had a little teaser at the end. And I spent a bit of time working on that today. And unfortunately, like, I'm honestly a bit mad at it because it's messing up and I don't know what to do about it. It's a visual bug and I might just have to leave it as is, which is a shame because the whole point of the mod is that it's essentially a palette swap with a new class change. Meanwhile, a completely different party member has a couple of their sprites glitched out. Do golems normally run? I don't recall that being a change I made. In case you didn't notice, I figured I'd actually play around with default classes, because as much as I like having Ivan being a healer, maybe we'll get a chance to show off side pass a couple times this way. Isaac's still a little low on synergy points, why not show it off now? Like, this is an ability that I find myself using late game, despite the fact we get it so early on. That's just how nice of an ability it is. You got nothing else to do with Ivan's turn, he's sitting on all the synergy points and your other party members are a little suffering, just give them a little side pass. And then, like, abilities that heal everyone's synergy, like Smith, become more useful because everyone gets a heal instead of just everyone but Ivan, because Ivan's full on synergy. I mean, with Lever, I get the feeling Ivan may not be full on synergy for long, but you get the concept. Yeah, it's really hard to make an enemy that works as a boss, but also works as a regular enemy later on. That'll probably be something I have to take to the drawing board in version 2. Yeah, like... I think I talked enough about the mod in other places to bring it up here, but it's basically gonna be my next Golden Sun project is gonna be Golden Sun, but Jenna instead of Garrett. Even went for the trouble of, like, giving Jenna all of the moves that she has in her default class in Lost Age, adjusting Garrett's stat spreads to be the same stat spreads that Jenna has. It's gonna be a pretty fun mod. If it wasn't for the fact that getting sprite changes to work without bugging something else out is a complete another nightmare. And it's like at the point where, like, all Jenna's sprites work, I even swapped Jenna's sprites with Garrett. That's not confusing to say. But Ivan's magically get glitched out. Even though he should have nothing to do with what's going on. And when I try to fix Ivan's sprites, it gets worse because half of the sprites get replaced with a default sprite. The same default sprite. So it's like, any attempt to fix it makes his sprites even worse. And it's worse because, like, it was just one sprite before and I was cool with that, but now it's 2 of Ivan's sprites that are bugged out. And one of those 2 sprites is a fairly obvious one that you'll probably see every time you're on the pause screen, and that just drives me nuts because the concept of having Jenna in Golden Sun 1 is a really fun concept and I wanted to play around with it. But it's not like there's going to be some weird visual things about it going into everything. So I guess nothing in the world that's the case, but it just kind of bugs me that it was fine and then it got worse. Pretty sure that this is going to be the last dungeon that has the beasts in them though, so don't worry, we won't have to worry about these guys that take forever to die, but barely do anything. I say that, but I think he almost killed me. I am getting a little careless, because I'm so used to Ivan being my healer and having all the synergy points to go around. But what am I doing? I've been sitting on a summon this entire time. On a more positive note, like, past couple days I actually been making a lot. There's like I was watching the streams and videos that people did of Paper Mario Sweet Expedition, the Paper Mario mod I made, and I've been working on trying to implement feedback both directly and indirectly I got from that. What did I do yesterday? Shoot, it was something I was really proud of, and for some reason I already forgot what it was. Oh, it was right on the top of my ahead too. I know today I basically figured out how which functions in the game save the progress. So now I can pretty much call the save function whenever I want, to make up for the fact that there's not a lot of save blocks and a lot of places that it would suck the game over at. So I can basically like tell the game to save the game whenever I want, and that's really cool. Oh yeah, and yesterday, like, one of the things from the mods was like there's an NPC that if you help him out, he gives you an item. But that scene plays out exactly the same whether you're full on items or not, and if you have full items when you receive this reward, it shows you getting it, but you don't actually get it because you're full on items. Well, I spent a good chunk of yesterday trying to figure out a way to actually have NPC 1 recognize when you're full on items, and 2, how to actually hold on to the item for a later point in the game where you can talk to that NPC again and just pick up the item there. Granted, especially with the prior part, I had a lot of help from the Paper Mario mod community. Technically, the latter, because someone in the Discord reminded me that something like that already exists, because NPC in Vanilla Paper Mario does basically the same exact thing. So I basically went to that and checked out the code that related to that, and spent some time like figuring out what parts of it worked and what parts of it worked, what parts of it didn't work on its own, and went from there. And Isaac is out of synergy points, and it kind of sucks because he's the one that can do the damage. He's the one that has the healing move at the moment, so I think... Thank you, Side Pass! And here I was saying Side Pass wasn't gonna be useful. Here, I've already used it like twice for times that I really needed it, and not just out of pure desperate. They actually really needed it, and I wasn't just doing it for demonstrational purposes. And ever since I've been using Earth Genies on Ivan, especially before we get the party member that really is access the healer for us all, I find myself wondering why anyone would want to... It feels like I'm not gonna say... I was gonna say I find myself wondering why anyone would want to do it otherwise. No, that's not the case. But it definitely feels like the most optimal way to handle that scenario, because Ivan's the one that has all... Healing takes up synergy points. You heal a lot. Ivan has all the synergy points. Make Ivan do the healing. It just feels like common sense to me. Plus he's fast, so you can get your healing off quickly, unlike our actual healer, who has a lot of synergy points as well, but is pretty slow. I think because of that latter point, that even when we get the other party member, I personally find myself trying to keep Ivan as a healer in scenarios. But that's the joy of Golden Sun's class system. Like, you can mess around with these djinns any way you want. A completely vanilla setup like this is doable in Golden Sun. And actually that's like, I think like a criticism that I find some of the more hardcore members of the community, the Golden Sun community, having, where like you can play for the game with just default classes. They're almost too good. They're almost better than a lot of the class codes messing around with djinns randomly. Like maybe this. Sometimes it doesn't feel as optimal as compared to just having everyone with their default djinns. It's more so, especially early game, where like there isn't really a reason to mess around with your djinns until late game, where you have a lot of djinni and have access to tri-elemental classes, and just all your class options open up in general overall. Oh, so the bears. I need to be prepared for the bears, and no, I can't just avoid and cheese myself out of it. Also, we got our first Nerari's tier, and I never actually showed it off. It replaces the vial, restores 300 HP, and gives you a resistance boost. So this is why I want to make sure each healing item has its own secondary effect, because Nuts kind of got outclassed. That's half the reason why they don't heal as much as usual, because I wanted to make the vials, now known as Nurari's Tear, and the potions that we get later on in the game that do the full heal, I wanted to make them feel different, because like, especially in Golden Sun 1, vials heal so much HP that they might as well be a potion. This way, they don't heal as much as they did in the original Golden Sun, but with that resistance boost, you can find your own special scenarios to actually use them in. Alright. That's right, I never actually bothered to swap back to my preferred Djinn setup. That's fine. We can do that later. After we get a little bit of damage on the bear, and don't have to worry about it later. Oh, brother, I forgot that the alignment of enemies could get bigger. God, and that was with frickin' Chasm. It did 6 damage with Chasm. This thing that's supposed to block literally all damage. Well, not literally, but essentially all damage. Alright, Garrett's still the slowest. Good. So I can Flint, I can summon Ramsey, you know, just to make sure the bear dies. And maybe we'll get a few of these zoos along the way. Please stop, please stop, please stop. Well, it's a good thing I haven't been boosting my stats at all, but please at least kill the bear and 1 ooze. 2 oozes would be nice, but I'll take a bear and an ooze. Fine, I'll settle for the bear. Alright, Mars. No, actually, you're the one with cure, so you gotta heal. It's probably better to do the summon with you anyways. Also, oh yeah, I'm out of synergy points. I mean, it's a good thing we're almost at town, but surely Mars will finish them off, and they, especially before they divide and make more, right? Well, maybe if I go all out on this guy, I can just take him out before he splits. I mean, that is at least a good chunk of experience to get out of all this. Alright, before I forget, back to you. And I mean, just having any class that revolves around Wind Genies does give you a significant boost to your synergy points, so I guess the point I was getting at is that even side pass on like Isaac, for example, is not too bad. We'll be getting used out of the ability one way or another. Oh, that's right, I've been practically all out synergy points. We're almost at town. We'll be fine. We're not gonna get mugged by a bear. Oh! New class of vermins, and with a new class of vermins, comes a new set of items to get. Pretty good stuff. Hopefully this will be enough to finish it off. Hopefully we get the 1 out of 2 chance to actually get the items. Okay, but surely Glare will be enough to do the trick. Also, I didn't realize how weak Ivan was doing. Just enough for Cure Well, which is fine because that should be all I need. Okay, it's just 1. We'll use Ginny. And it should be good. If not, we can at least get a little bit of synergy points back with that. There we go. Town's a lot further away than I remember it being. Not gonna lie. What do you know? Another good opportunity to use Side Pass. No, not more. You know, the dividing news thing is not something I added. This is the vanilla thing I have to worry about. So it's not my fault that this fight is terrible. I do gotta get rid of these stupid bones. Like, look at that damage. Like, I think I might just toss them out after this battle so I have the inventory slot. Oh, wait. When was I low enough on HP to have I been die to that? Now, of course, it's right after I just waste Jolt. That's fine. As long as I can survive long enough, we can just use Jolt again. It's fine. That's the beauty of this mod. Well, maybe I'll get the bear diluted in the process this way. Or I could just get rid of it. That works too. Okay, this will at least make it more manageable. Tempting to wait until Jolt comes back just so Ivan doesn't miss out on all this experience. And I can ensure that the ooze doesn't do anything terrible, I guess. Alright, so gonna Jolt and then finish up this ooze. Yikes. Ivan almost went back down since he got back up. That would have been a little scary. Something's not right. I don't remember, like... I designed this battle... I designed the Mercury Lighthouse for being level 10. Even level 11 being a luxury. And here we are, barely getting into the meal and we're already level 11. It probably won't be that bad, though. I mean, it probably won't be that good, which is good in the sense that I won't die, bad in the sense of showcasing how... getting a fair assessment of the difficulty of this. And I mean, grinding is this, so we're gonna just show things off the way they are, one way or another. That was a perfectly timed... That was a pretty well timed defend. I mean, we're still a good chunk away from level 12, and I'm pretty sure as long as we don't get to level 12 in the Mercury Lighthouse, we won't be over-leveled. Of course, literally pretty much right at the town store steps, and yet these jerks decide to still show up and be a half 50, 68, 2 summons. I'm really putting way too much faith in 2 summons being enough to finish off this fight. Not the bear! I'll be honest, I was hoping to get rid of some of these enemies at this point. Wait, I have an item that... No, I think I used it up on Tret. I was gonna say, I have an item that can make... Geez, I was gonna say something along the lines of, geez, that defense drop is kind of annoying. If only I had an item that got rid of stats boosts. But no, I wasted it on Tret. At least I'm gonna have Jolt next turn and be able to get Garrett back up here, which will be nice. Here we go. I'm just gonna hope Ramsey actually does something. Okay. I can work with that. I was gonna say, if I actually ended up dying to the gnome after all that, that would have been a little sad. Alright. This should be enough to finish off the job. Well, that's fine. I have a heal lined up, specifically for this sort of scenario. Perfect. Alright. Let me double check how long we've been streaming. Pardon the sudden audio pause. Oh, that's almost been a 2-hour stream, which is pretty good. I was only planning on streaming an hour today. So before we get into anything, get into any action around here, I think I'm gonna just end off the stream